live, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this on the back end, this is the beginning of the live. So this is where I'm a little bit more jovial and a little bit more lighthearted. Welcome to this Friday night stream. Yes, I drug myself here on camera to entertain for the evening. And if you are new here, I appreciate you coming into the stream and joining me on one of my rants. It's a whole lot of stuff to talk about, but one of the things I want to begin talking about is Gerald the Dolphin. Now, I don't know if y'all heard about Gerald the Dolphin. What up, Dark Vile Plume? Welcome in. I don't know if you've heard about Gerald the Dolphin, but Gerald the Dolphin, apparently he kidnapped a man and forced him for, I guess, a couple weeks to build a city under the sea. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And I don't know if I believe his story because it sounds preposterous. Obviously, ain't no dolphins out here kidnapping people apparently, but I don't know. It was a story from a few years back where there was a man on a fishing boat, okay, and he started to hear a siren calling out to him. This was all on TikTok, okay. And y'all can say it's fantasy or whatever, but we just say it's for entertainment purposes, right? Yo, 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 what up? Welcome in. And so this man was on this fishing boat and he started hearing this call from this creature behind him out in the sea. And at some point the creature threw a crab on the boat and the man threw it back out there and the creature threw it back on there. I don't know what dolphin can do that, but I guess dolphins can't throw stuff because I literally saw a video today of a dolphin throwing some stuff to some ladies on the boat. I swear to God, I just saw that not even an hour ago. Like it's not even like special. They just went down there, got something, and the girl told the dolphin go down there and get the whatever. I guess it was like a little crustacean or a rock, and the dolphin goes down there, comes back, and throws it up to the lady. So this could be what it was. So and I heard that dolphins can like kind of mimic language, right? Hey, Mike, I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. You remember, right? So after he started reporting on that, then they started putting like a little government monitoring thing on the boat, and you never heard them talk about the sirens or the dolphins again. So when this man Gerald said he was kidnapped by dolphins, taken 40 feet under the sea and forced to build like this little underwater city for them, it sounds like high talk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he took some illicit substances, and that's what put him down. So like I say, it's entertainment purposes only. But I don't know what to fucking believe because if somebody told me that some mermaids were talking to them in the early 2000s, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. If somebody told me that Bigfoot was real in the early 2000s, I'd be like, get off my line, buddy. You know what I'm saying? If somebody told me that we would even have AI like it is right now, I would tell them to stop, to lay off the fucking pipe. You know what I mean? But hold on, I'm turning on the light so y'all can see me. Boom. There's more people in here. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. What up? What up? What up, Becky? Yeah, happy positive vibes for everybody. The vibes ain't gonna be positive forever though. Not in this live. Y'all know how I get. But right now we having some fun. But if somebody was to tell me that shit back then, I wouldn't believe that. But like now, I don't know what to believe. And it goes to video evidence. In like a year, how are we really gonna believe video evidence if you can just make up some shit? There's this one guy, he be pranking people, and I think the shit is funny. I think it's funny because I'm watching it. Most pranks I don't like, but if it happened to me, I would be pissed. He goes into the store and he takes a picture of them and with their where he notices what car they get out of, takes a picture of their car, makes an AI video about the car, chases them in the store, says, "Oh, somebody's fucking with your car," and then they panic, of course, because it's their car, but it's an AI video. That's kind of funny, right? But it's so believable sometimes, but like, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously in the heat of the moment, some dude, hey, somebody's fucking with your car, and you run out there and you look stupid as shit. Obviously, you don't look stupid. It's just a prank, whatever. but, but, but how would you know in a court of law in a year or two what's real? Especially if the state got it out for you. If the state sits there and says, okay, hey, we gonna prosecute you for some shit you didn't do or some shit that didn't even happen, but we got you on tape over here. How you gonna prove otherwise? Because up until now, video evidence has been permissible in court, right? So if I made a video about me talking to Gerald the Dolphin, it's funny. I keep laughing every time I say Gerald the Dolphin because I remember, hey, RJ, welcome in, man. I remember a video for some years ago of a lady saying that she worked with the dolphins, okay, like in an enclosure, which I don't know about that, but whatever. People work with the dolphins, and and I guess the dolphin, he was at the point where he was mature. You know what I'm saying? So he started getting horny, and he wasn't listening to commands and stuff. So this trainer, she came up with the brilliant idea with her, as a marine biologist, to jerk the dolphin off, to get the dolphin to completion. I don't know how you jerk a dolphin off. I don't know if you just like rub its belly or whatever she was doing. She was applauded for her efforts. And I do believe that dolphin's name was Gerald. So it kind of makes me think, is this the same Gerald? You know what I mean? It's like, did Gerald get out? Is he out here kidnapping niggas and making them build cities under the sea? Because, you know what I'm saying, he maybe know the human ability, because he from a young age was being, well, from a puberty standpoint, was being jerked off by his marine biologist. No telling what she told them. Y'all know it's illegal to communicate with the goddamn dolphins. It's a reason for that, because apparently there's like some psychic link between dolphins and whales and people, and you're not supposed to be out there talking to them niggas, and people fall in love with them niggas. Y'all think I am lying? Look it up. I kid you not, Becky. This is what's been going on for a minute. There's a story about this man, like how he was getting like these psychic, like messages from the whales and from the fucking dolphins back in the day, and they were telling him to cut out with the whaling shit. Y'all got to stop that shit. That shit ain't kosher. Like, this was before whaling was taboo and before it became illegal, and he was getting all these psychic like hits in his head from these dolphins, right? And these whales and stuff telling him that humans need to cut that shit out, right? And so he made like this whole organization, I think it's called Greenpeace, right? Because he came and he made like a place and he started talking to the dolphins and shit. Like, I kid you not. And he said they were talking to, he could communicate with them across the ocean, and they have like this psychic network between the dolphins and the whales and shit, and like all that. And then it makes you think that there may be something too, because if you look at killer whales and stuff, killer whales don't like attack people, right? They'll come up and look at you on the boat and shit and be like, oh, yo, it's a person. Or they'll see you out there, but they don't really fuck with you, even though, technically you're edible, like you're edible size, but they don't like really eat us like that. I wonder why, I love dolphins too. Dolphins are amazing. And it's funny because some years ago, my kid's mom was talking about, she had a dream. I ain't gonna say it was a dream. I'm honestly gonna say it was a vision. Like, with my kid's mom, I never told y'all this, but my kid's mom is like one, and it's probably because she can't see. I honestly believe she's like one of the most psychic people on the planet. Like, I've seen her do shit that's just fucking crazy. I remember one night in particular that just made me believe. I had already believed way before this because of other shit, but one night, for some reason, she was just on one. And I don't mean on one like she was nagging or nothing like that. She couldn't go to bed. She's like, something's gonna happen. And take in mind, at this point, it's almost fucking 1:00 in the morning. Everybody's sleep. What the fuck is gonna happen tonight? She's like, I don't know. Something's coming, right? Like, I'm like, what the fuck is coming, bro? Like, it's late. It was a peaceful night. It was a still night. We lived on a cul-de-sac. Nothing was fucking coming, okay? I swear to God, we hear somebody pull up into the driveway. So at that point, my blood just runs cold. We see the light, because like how our living room was, you could see, like, if you pulled into the driveway, it just shone light all throughout the goddamn house for the most part. So it's 1:30, almost 2:00 in the morning. Somebody's pulling into the driveway. It's and so I'm like, what the fuck? She's freaking out, like, what the fuck? Next thing I know, I hear the doorbell ring. So I go to the fucking door. It's my fucking mother and her boyfriend. I swear to God. And my mom didn't even live out. We lived in California. My mom lived in Vegas. So I guess in between, I guess they had went to San Diego and between San Diego and going back to Vegas, they decided to stop at our house. But it was the weirdest fucking thing because they didn't tell us that they were even out there. That she didn't notice they were out there with nothing like that. But she knew something was coming. And it was them. It was the niggas that night. It freaked me the fuck out. But Echo the Dolphin was for sadists. That's a game for sadists. No, you're not late. You're not late at all. We just beginning. This is the lighthearted portion of the show. I got some stuff I kind of want to show y'all. Obviously on the camera. I mean, not on the camera. What I'm saying, through videos and stuff. I like doing the reactions to videos like this, like in the live, because y'all can see what I'm seeing. Because sometimes I watch other people's videos or I'll come across content and I think I'm tripping. I do. I'll be like, maybe I'm just, I was born in the 80s and like I just have a different perspective on things. But sometimes I know I'm not tripping, bro. I know I'm not out of my mind. So sometimes I get on here and I be like, I'm gonna show y'all some of the shit I've been looking at. You know what I'm saying? Super spiritual awareness I see she has. She does. She has a good deal of spiritual awareness. The thing about that, and I kind of want to talk about that. Oh, I'm glad you brought up the spiritual thing. Because over the last week, I felt like I've been under spiritual attack. You understand? And like even with my kid's mom, especially with her being so sensitive to certain things, I feel like people that are sensitive, like that are how you put it, like sensitive to the spiritual world, they're also very prone to spiritual attack, right? I consider myself to be a spiritually strong person, right? I feel like at the end of the day, I just got to go to God. Yeah, I got to go to God. If I can't handle shit, I got to give it to God. There's some stuff in this universe that is beyond me, and I'm not going to even sit up there and try to understand it. But I am a stubborn individual. The entity that is me, my spirit, whatever, take the body out of it. The soul is very stubborn. So it takes sometimes a minute for me to actually like turn to God and be like, hey, yo, you got to get some of this stuff off of me. You feel me? And so from a young age, and I'm talking about myself specifically, I felt like, vexed by demons. I have some of the most fucked up thoughts, y'all. And I'm talking about things that annoy me or things that I would want to do, right? Because of ego. And it's all ego, right? In order to want to change the world, there has to be a certain level of ego attached to it, right? So sometimes I'll see things that drive me up the fucking wall, like it would be anybody, right? We was talking about, and because everybody seemed to forgot about it, the Epstein list and the things in that list and all that other stuff. You see some of the stuff that's going on and stuff, and it makes you want to have a fucking visceral reaction, right? It makes your spirit or my spirit want to have a visceral reaction. And then you get the demons nipping at you saying, well, you're not doing anything. All you're doing is this. Do something. What can you do? What can you, like you get all that. That's at least for me. That's me in my older way, right? Or I'll see, how can I put it? I'll give y'all a perfect example. And I have a video of it too. The other day on the bus, there was a young man. He got on the bus and he didn't have enough money to get on the fucking bus, right? So he got on the bus and he just rushes to the back of the bus. And the bus driver said, well, if you're not going to pay your fucking fare, I'm not going to move this fucking bus and I'm going to wait for security to come get you off the bus. So it's just like, everybody's already fucking late. And he's wearing a mask. Oh man, I wish I had it on this. I don't have the video on this phone. I have it on this phone I'm talking to. He had on a mask. It was a really cool mask too. He had all this stuff with him. I know he was frustrated, but what pissed me the fuck off is that he's holding everybody else up. Because all he had to do is get on the bus and say, hey, anybody got $1? Anybody, because I would have fucking had $1. I didn't even know what was going on for the longest time until he started getting into it with the bus driver. I didn't know. I had no idea. Because otherwise, I always keep change or money in my pocket. Fuck it. Here, get on the goddamn bus, right? But the fact that it's a bus full of people, including kids trying to get to school, and you want to hold up the fucking bus because you're frustrated, pissed me off, right? It did. And so I started obviously berating the dude, all right? Because I'm an asshole sometimes and I'm frustrated. Not because I was late. I always leave here an hour early so I don't get caught up in the muck. But I'm gonna read y'all comments. Hold on, I'm coming back up. But I just, in that moment, I was frustrated for the people on the bus. But I said, you know what, whatever, right? And I said, bro, get off the bus. He said, I'm not your fucking bro. We're not related. I was like, all right, whatever. Oh, fuck me, right? So I just went back, got on my phone, whatever. And eventually another dude that was next to him said something. And they started getting into a back and forth. And the dude was like, hey, yo, instead of fighting, he was like, hey, you want to smoke? And the dude was like, yeah, I need to smoke. So they both got off the bus and dude smoked them out. Then dude got off the bus and cussed out the bus driver. I didn't like none of that, right? I didn't like how he held up all of the people. However, in retrospect, I can understand his frustration. And the bus driver could have just let him just because most bus drivers, especially in the neighborhood where we were passing, was the fucking mission. You know, a lot of people are struggling. Just let the fucking dude on the bus. I agree with the dude. He was like, it's her, it's her. It's not her because she's doing her job. Technically, she's doing her job. Yes, she could have shown empathy in that moment. She did not have to completely delay the ride. All of that, I get it. But at the same time, you didn't have to get on there and delay people, right? This is the point of this, right? In my heart, I feel violent. I feel like, oh, if he do something, I get that stupid shit in my head, right? Where it's not even that. Where I'm an older or a middle-aged person, and I am expressing my frustration to him. He wasn't violent. He wasn't nothing like that. He was just frustrated. And so later on, and thinking about it, I feel I could have went it back differently, and just instead of berating him as I did, just said, hey, you need me to, can I pay for his bus fare? And I could have just got the fucking, I thought about that later. I said, I easily could have just fucking paid the dude's bus fare and just got on with the goddamn thing. But at the same time, that's feeling like, what do you call it? Adhering to terrorist. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me see. That's crazy. For the same here, I shows in different ways. Sure. Also keep in mind that it's easier for those attacks when you're very vulnerable or mad or sad. Yeah, that's true. And that's been going on all this week. Like with me, I just been in my head. So those demons be nipping. A person that can't trust is a person that can't be trusted. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that people that can't trust a lot of times isolate themselves from people, right? I think a lot of times, I think that's what I've done. I think I keep a very small circle because I don't trust people. And it's not that I don't love people. I try my best to understand people. I just don't trust people, but because I know that most people have selfish intention. Like the young man on the bus with the mask on, his selfish intention was like, I'm going to protest right now, even though all these fucking people got to get to work, right? Most people's like interaction with the world is very selfish, and it's not to knock them. Most animals are that way, Why are you riding a bus? I've been riding a bus all my life. I can't stand when people do that BS. What you think about the other person outside the bus, and if they want to seek that spiritual, call on your ancestors or spiritual guides. I do. Where are you at? What state? I'm in Nevada. Enabling is the word you're probably looking for. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like enable terrorists. Like, but that's why I'm sick too. Public buses are petri dishes because I was sick all fucking week because somebody decided to get on the bus last week and just cough all next day. I was like, out of all the fuck, it was empty seats and all that. Just got on. I was like, all right, I'm sick. That's me. I'm sick, especially because the weather here is changing. But yeah, no, the spiritual attack, and I know when I say my demons, they're me. They're not. I like, people will blame. I'm sorry, this light is fucking with me. People will blame like demons or like the spiritual world for shit that like how they are. When I say my demons, I literally mean the ugliness that's in me. Like that shit is because I manifested that shit, you know? I still manifest that shit. The shit I say to myself, you know. Like sometimes I say that negative shit to myself. That's why that video, it was a video short I did, I think earlier in the week, where the boy's just talking to himself real fucking crazy, bro. And these young men are out here talking to themselves real fucked up, and it's fucking with me seeing this shit. I don't want to see that incel shit. And not that I don't want to see it. It needs to be addressed. I don't like that shit, man. I don't like these young men out here telling themselves that, oh, I'm ugly and I'm this and I'm that. Bro, well fuck, bro. If you ugly, then fucking do something about it, bro. It's just, oh, I'm just this. And these women ain't gonna talk to me because I'm this and I'm that. But listen, but like literally listen to how you talking to yourself. Taking sex out of it, taking attraction out of it, you know, no Diddy. Straight up, like as a person, you're not attractive when you're if you're literally going at yourself like that, telling yourself you a piece of shit. I'm scrawny, I'm trash. If you feel scrawny, if you feel like you trash, if you feel like you any of these things, take the things that you see about yourself that are those things and just start dissecting them. What can you do to change them? What can you do to change them? And I know that like it's easy to sit there and tell men not to be superficial about their looks. But I would be fucking lying if I didn't tell you how fucking insecure I was as a teenager. You know what I mean? Like I'll be fucking sitting up here crazy as fuck telling you that I didn't carry like a pocket mirror in the goddamn high school. Ask anybody that went to high school with me. Ask all the football team. Ask all the boys because I was the only boy that carried a fucking mirror, right? So all the boys be like, Jeremy, you got your mirror on you? Got your mirror? Literally, niggas be going to the guy, anything, like, hey, you got your mirror on you? And I'll give him the mirror, right? Because my insecurity was like, oh man, I hope I don't have a booger in my nose. I hope that the hoes don't see that I'm fucking lopsided. You know, the first time I saw my actual face, how I actually looked on camera, it was like an existential fucking crisis for me. I couldn't believe how lopsided my shit was. I couldn't believe y'all say I like this hair, this shit, this pushback shit. That shit didn't start in my 40s, homie. It didn't. That shit started way back in high school, and my shit was lopsided, brother. And I'm up here like, what the fuck is going on? Because when you see yourself in the mirror your whole life, you like what the you look a certain way. Your brain telling you all symmetrical. You see yourself on camera, you be like, fuck, I'm ugly. God damn it, bro. How come nobody told me that my front teeth are crooked? Whole time I'm thinking my shit straight. Whole time, whole life. One day I'm like, I see myself on camera, I'm like, I'm over here looking like Dumber Dumber in the face. I was up here hot, bro. I would talk about the sleeper cells and all the war and all that shit in a minute, bro. I'm always paranoid about having potential boogers too. I'm constantly right, bro. Y'all know how many times I made videos on this fucking channel? I made a whole video, right, to just get my shit off, right? Go back to edit the shit. Big ass booger in my nose. Heated. Oh, I gotta record this whole fucking video over again. Whole time, booger in my nose. Don't even see it on camera. And sometimes I just let that shit go. I was like, fuck it. There's a booger in there, it's a booger in there. I don't give a shit. But in high school, insecure than a motherfucker, bro. And the thing about it was, I was very popular. I had friends all over the place, right? So all of and the thing was, my insecurity it only came from the way that I looked. I was okay with dealing with people. I had girlfriends, friends, all that shit. That wasn't the issue. My issue was my self-image, right? And when you sit up and telling yourself you don't measure up, but at the same time, you know, I also was still me. So I talk to everybody. A lot of these guys, even young, they isolate themselves to the point where they're not gonna go out there and meet nobody. They're so afraid of rejection because of the whole meme of, what's the worst she can say? And yeah, some of the shit can sting. I think I've told this story before. My brother, he's always been attractive, right? He went from being a cute little kid to a very handsome to a sexy looking teenager to a no Diddy to a fucking or R. Kelly to a very handsome adult. And in high school, obviously, he had like girls that really liked him, right? So it was like, he was, you know, obviously like, yeah, my older brother goes here. And it was like, you got an older brother that goes here? This is when he didn't came to school. He's 2 years under me. So let's say I'm in at this point I'm in the 11th grade. He's in what is it? No, yeah, he's 2 years under me. So he's in the ninth grade. I'm in 11th grade. So he's in junior varsity. The girl he's talking to, the little girl he's talking to, has an older sister. She's like, "You got a brother at the school? And I ain't never seen this nigga." So she's like, "I want to meet your brother." She was talking about meeting me all this time, right? On the phone. "I got to meet your brother. If you look like you look, your older brother got to be so handsome, right?" So we make this, we make this thing to meet over there by the fucking auditorium or whatever. We go over there. She gets one look at me. She's like, "Ugh." This yo brother. Now taking mine. To be fair, in high school, my fashion sense was questionable. I purposely dressed like a fucking hobo, so it wasn't like, you know, she was out of line with that. But myself, that you couldn't tell my self esteem. No, nothing else about that, right? I was crushed. I'm like, Jesus, ew. I thought I had a little bit of, you know, grunge swag to me. I at least smelled good, but goddamn, ew, you know. And that's how I felt about myself, you know. It just gets you up ass. It is what it is, you know. But no, but these young men are going through this shit, right? Because they're taking themselves through it. When I was that age, you know what happened when the self-loathing and all that shit came in? One of the first people that even I don't know if he's in here. What's up, Khalil? One of the first people that gave me confidence enough to even talk to women was El Gaston, that comes in here, that be in the chat. El Gaston we were friends in middle school and in ninth grade. I had this crush. I told this story before, on this girl, and I just was obsessing about her, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, send her." And they were like, "Just talk to her, bro. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like, you obsessing about this girl? You talk to me more. You talk to me more about talking to her than you have about just talking to her." And then I talked to her, and what's the weirdest thing happened after I talked to her? It was that I just didn't. It did whatever insecurities I had about expressing how I felt to a young lady or a lady went away. It is what it is. Some ladies will be open to, you know, your advances. Others won't. It is what it is. And if you feel insecurities about yourself, you gotta fucking work on it. I'm not gonna sit up here and coddle boys and men. I'm not gonna do that because that's not how I came up. That ain't even what we did as friends. That ain't what my brothers did. We didn't do that. And I've always been like I say, a very somewhat insecure, nerdy person. But they smacked that shit out of me. Like, get over that shit. If you want to get. I'm just gonna say I'm speaking as boys and men do. If you want to get bitches, you can't be a bitch. Like, what are you doing? You got to get the bitch up out of you. You got to go out there and you got to go put yourself out there. And if you feel insecure about some stuff that you want to fix it. That's what you should be working on. If all you thinking about is, oh, I don't have enough money, then you need to make some more money. Honestly, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I get up and try to do every day. That's my biggest fucking insecurity. Somebody said, "Oh, why are you on the bus?" Been on the bus forever. And if you need to know a backstory as to why I've always rode the bus, even when I've had money and a family and all the other shit, is because I've always been I just don't want to give the state that much power over me. I see how they ping pong people in these cars and how they extort motherfuckers through car insurance and registration and all the other stuff. I'm not gonna go into that shit because that shit gonna piss me the fuck off. But it's a racket. It's a fucking racket. If I buy a goddamn car, okay, and I pay my registration, okay, then okay, good. If I fucking paying insurance because y'all are forcing me to the state, okay, to a third fucking party company, and I don't get in an accident that year, should I not receive some type of rebate check at the fucking end of the year for all this fucking money y'all been extorting out of me? So I just rather not deal with it because 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 it will put me on the edge. And I don't want to have court in the streets. Obviously, if I get pulled over, I wouldn't have this argument with no fucking cop, right? But I would still be just as irritated that I was being pulled over, or even, God forbid, if I'm being taken up out my shit, or my shit is being confiscated for whatever fucking let me see. Y'all get me started. Anyway. Peace and love, yo. What's up? Still playing Xbox? You know what I'm saying? Like, I did talk about Gerald. I haven't, that's the thing with games, man. Like, there's a game coming out next week. It's called Crimson Desert. And if I got the money, I don't even know if my computer can handle this, so I don't even know. But it looks fun. And I'm saying this because I'm telling myself not to get it because I'm not gonna play it. I don't know if it's my age, but I sit here and I tell myself I'm gonna designate at least a 2-hour block to gaming. Okay, that shit didn't used to be such a chore for me. It used to be the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna hop on the game, I'm gonna kill some fools. I'm looking for the newest DLC, or I'm gonna even play fucking Street Fighter, all of that shit, right? And now it's like, it's like the thought of like certain games make me tired. And it's not because I'm not good. I can get good. In certain things I can get good. It's just that even in the shit that I'm good at, I be exhausted, right? I'm always like, think about it. I'll give you a game I'm good at. And it's obviously it's business casual and you mostly fighting bots these days. But Fortnite, okay? Fortnite, I'm pretty good at Fortnite. I'm pretty good at getting some W's in Fortnite, even to this day, okay? But even in my most casual games of Fortnite, it's a sweaty fucking situation. I'm up here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm chilling, but I'm also tense. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole time I'm like, and at this age, it's just like my heart rate going up like that. You know what I mean? And then let's say I'm playing Street Fighter, right? And it's some bullshit spamming nonsense or some bullshit with they have this mechanic in Street Fighter where it's almost like a rock paper scissors thing. And if they press the button at the right time, they can counter your move. I hate that shit, bro. And that shit be frustrating me, even though I know it's like they be hitting it at such a millisecond sometimes that it feel like it's like they cheating, and I'm just getting old, man. No, I'm not playing Xbox as much as I used to be. It's always something when you got a car. And that's the thing, when we were coming up, I saw my brother, I saw my best friend, I saw them go through lemons. I saw them go through the registration bullshit. I saw them go through dealing with LAPD. I saw them dealing with all that shit. And that shit was this shit just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? And with my kid's mom being blind, we pretty much got free rides everywhere. This is even before Uber. We were able to drive all over the fucking place. Through Access and all these other services throughout the city, so it was never a problem getting around. But me personally, before the electric scooters and electric bikes, I've always biked. I've used to bike around LA, I know all the fucking LA County on a bike. And then when they eventually built the fucking train, the metro to get from the valley to Hollywood and stuff, I would go out there, do that shit. I don't mind public transportation for the most part. The only time I really mind public transportation is when it's delayed. Sometimes the crowdedness of it can be irritating, but it is what it is. It's a city. It's more so when it's delayed, or like when the scenario I told y'all about, the bus driver delays y'all for whatever fucking reason. Because imagine being up the road waiting on the fucking bus and you don't even know if some fucking anarchists on the bus refusing to get off the fucking bus because of not paying a fare. You know what I'm saying? It's the new Tornadoes game coming out called Funnel something. Battlefield 6. But I hear Battlefield, that shit looks dope. That shit looks amazing. I played a lot of Battlefield 4. I played a lot of Battlefield 5. I played a lot of what was it? The first Battlefield game I got into was Battlefield 1943, believe it or not, on the PlayStation 3. It was like a downloadable game. And I had never played a Battlefield game before that. And when that shit, I was so addicted to that shit that summer. It's funny because I can even remember like the way the air smelled at that time. My kids were small. That game was I was addicted to that game like big time. And then my friend, he was always been a big Battlefield fan. And when Battlefield 4 came out, I was not into gaming at that point either. And so I was like, oh, I don't know if I want a system. I don't know if I want to buy a system. So he had brought his PlayStation 4 out to my house when I lived out in Palmdale, and he had Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 4 it was just on a different level. I was like, oh, this shit is running like this. So that's what made me buy a PlayStation 4. But fast forward to right now, like it's a couple games I want to play, but like I look even like that Crimson Desert game. I look at that, it's so big in scope. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and learn all that shit. I'm not gonna do that. Even though it's a single player game, I'm not gonna do all that shit. You know what I mean? What up, Killmonger? How you doing, man? Food, water, gas, housing so damn expensive, but third world countries is cheap. The thing is, it's gonna get even more expensive because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. And what they're doing, what the government did just today, actually a few hours ago, was they bombed, I believe, this island like off the Strait of Hormuz and off of Iran, where they produce a lot of their crude oil. Take in mind, this information is just coming out. I haven't completely read it, so I'm not gonna give y'all all this misinformation. I'm just telling y'all what the president said himself. He said they bombed it. They bombed it, but they're not going to attack the oil supply of the island unless they are forced to do so. Right, whatever that means. What this all means to me is that with the oil not coming out of that region, even though it's probably people say, I think somebody told me yesterday it's only 15% of our oil, something like that. I was like, okay, but it's still gonna drive up prices for everything, for food, for gas. It's not just gas; it's for food. It's for bips and bobs, whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, King James? Um, if you could interview Donald Trump, what questions would you ask that man? Hopefully, no, that doesn't trigger me at all. That's a very good question. The first question, that's a good question. Without getting myself in trouble here. Mm, I don't assume that any elitist has an allegiance to America like we do. And even for the people that are like, I hate America, fuck America, y'all have allegiance to America, y'all would have. What I mean by allegiance to America, I'm not talking about the flag, I'm not talking about none of that pageantry bullshit. I'm talking about the country, America, the United States. Here, you could drive from any state, go to any city, what America is as a place, right? This is our country, right? And most of us love this country. I don't assume that any elite, and that includes Donald Trump, has any allegiance to this country, right? So my question, even though it will come from a place like I'm trying to be careful because it can't come from a left or right because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all because I don't believe the left or the right has an allegiance to this country. They have an allegiance to money, and they have an allegiance to a power base that exists in a foreign nation that was established in the Middle East that we are going to war at the behest of right now. I'm just being careful with what I say. So my question to the president would be how much, and this is the surface level question, how much did they pay you to sell out the United States? Because remember, America first, no new wars. What is it? No American lives for foreign wars, all this bullshit. The stimulus checks from the Doge claim from last year. Now all of a sudden we're not doing the immigration stuff no more because it's gonna hurt the midterms or some bullshit. At what point, like, when you look like what do you have? That's the question. What do you have allegiance to besides money? Because it can't be money. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's probably be the same questions I have to all these people. Who do y'all really believe in? Right? Because I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I like that's the real question. And the real no, God, I suck at this. Um, that dolphin story is so wild and ridiculous. It is. It really is. It really is. And that's to all of them because they'll sit there, or it'll be when you say I believe in God or in God's name, what God are you talking about? That's the real question. Because all of these elite and all of these people and all these they get on TV and they do that, right? They say God, God, God. But we know that they can't be talking about the same God, right? Because they're obviously using God's name in vain, or at least what most of us believe God is supposed to be, whatever. Who are y'all really worshiping? Is it money? What is the end goal to all of this, right? If I'm a 70, 80-year-old man and I'm damn near and I'm the president of the United States, I know that I maybe got a good 10 years left on this planet, right? Maybe I'm saying a good 10 years. I'm not saying they can't live beyond that, but in your late 90s, them niggas be aging like milk already, right? I got a good 10 years left. I would want to leave behind a legacy of joy, of laughter, of happiness, of abundance, of confidence. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to leave behind a legacy of war and destruction and uncertainty and you know what I'm saying? And just all it this horrible climb to the top of this pyramid where everybody's money, we got to get to the most money, money, money. He even said the other day, how do you put it? With oil prices going up, we get to make a lot of money. Who is we? Who the fuck is we? Because we not seeing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's what it is, man. Like it's a lot of shit I would ask that. It's a lot of shit I would ask that motherfucker, right? But I would have to like, you got me. That's a fucking good question, dude. I'm gonna write that shit down and I'm gonna think about that one. I love it. Um, Let me see. Donald Trump received 200K donations from. Yep, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And all of our politicians are bought and paid for. Let's just be honest. Where we are as a country, when I say we, I'm not like I said, I'm not talking about the pageantry. I'm talking about we as a people. We're occupied. We're an occupied nation. When you got a foreign prime minister that can make the decisions of whether or not our men and women go to war, we're occupied. It reminds me of the second G.I. Joe movie, right? And I mention this shit all the time, right? Because that shit was just so like weird how they framed it, right? And when they take over the White House, because they infiltrated the White House with this fake Zalt, I think his name was Zoltan, one of the guy that can change his face in G.I. Joe. He takes over as the president. He's the fucking puppet president for Cobra. And when Cobra, the organization, comes into the White House to take over the White House, everybody got their goddamn thumbs up their asses because it was like, yep, y'all didn't even know we were here. We were fucking, y'all were infiltrated the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that's a fucking movie based on a fucking cartoon that's based on a toy line. But it made a lot of sense to me. And that's exactly what it is. They might as well take the fucking American flag off the fucking White House or whatever the fuck. Just rip that bitch down and just raise up that blue and white star. Just go ahead and raise that shit the fuck up. Because that's what's really going on. And if y'all wonder why we're at war with Iran all of a sudden, that's why we're at war with Iran. If y'all are wondering why after 9/11, all of a sudden we were at war with damn near every fucking Arab nation in the region, that's the reason that this is all. You want to know why this is fucking deja vu and they're telling y'all that they're going to produce weapons of mass destruction just like they told our generation 20 something fucking years ago? It's because of that. It's the same story. They're going to attack Americans. They're going to kill people. But meanwhile, our government sits there and bombs a school full of fucking a school full of girls. kills them dead, right? Then gets on TV to fucking act like, oh, we're gonna investigate it. We're gonna put some investigators. You gonna put some investigators behind y'all? Y'all just got on. Y'all been online and y'all been on TV for the last fucking week bragging about this bombing campaign. Y'all bombed this fucking school full of girls. That's deliberate. We not in the goddamn. We not in the fucking mid fucking 20th century. We have precision strikes. Precision. If if the United States wants to put a missile somewhere, especially in a house or a school, that's what they're going to do. That's not an accident. That's deliberate. The time of day, where it landed, it's just a war crime all around. This war, I don't give a fuck what side of the fence you feel about it or how you feel about either country, is illegal. Has not been any congressional approval. There hasn't been any fucking oversight whatsoever. There's no joint chiefs of staff. There's no transparency in the fucking media anymore. There's none of that. All that shit's out the window. We are far a fucking field. Now they're talking about they just got authorized to send 5,000 troops over there, probably to that little island that they just bombed, so they can occupy it until further notice, where that will become a fucking hellscape because all Iran's going to do is going to send rockets into the island if it is occupied. If we occupy that island, which more than likely we're going to occupy the island, just my assumption. If we occupy the island because it's a place where Iran was producing crude, one of their biggest places where they refine it and ship it out. If we take the goddamn island, we're gonna put soldiers on that island and fucking keep the island. And this is a fucking hop, skip, and a jump away from fucking Iran to shoot rockets at more fucking soldiers. We just had a goddamn plane go down coming out of there. I forget what the type of planes that refuel just crashed this evening, killing 14 fucking crew members for some shit that's not even authorized. It's not authorized. But yeah, you'll get Pete Hegseth or whatever the fuck his name is. He'll get on TV and he'll act like this is a fucking video game. We got the best weapons, and we got this. We've heard this fucking story before, you stupid son of a bitch. It hasn't even been that much time. The paint hasn't even fucking, the blood hasn't even fucking dried on a goddamn tarmac of goddamn Afghanistan, for God's sake. Wasn't that just a few years ago where the motherfuckers were hanging off of the fucking plane leaving? We're like, oh, we're leaving Afghanistan. It was a certain amount of American soldiers killed in that situation too, right? Leaving there. We didn't win a motherfucking thing. At least we the people. We didn't win anything. So when y'all say we're going over there in Iran to do what? And it's always, oh, okay, it's to free people. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all really think, y'all say, and here's where the propaganda really be getting into people's fucking head, and it pisses me off, right? Y'all say, the people in Iran want to be liberated. Some of them probably do, right? Just like here in America, some of them probably want to be liberated from Donald Trump, want to be liberated from these taxes, want to be liberated from police brutality, all kind of shit. But those are problems that are here in the house, right? What's going on in Iran as far as this bombing campaign ain't got shit to do with no liberation. It got everything to do with conquest. And the greater, if y'all know ball, the Greater Israel Project, right? Where all of the Mediterranean belongs to that country that shall not be named. I'm sorry, y'all. Absolutely, Marcus. I'm going to think about that question, though, big time, because it's a good question. It's a good question to like what I would actually lead in general. And it's funny that I never thought about it. That's why I'll be saying I'm not that fucking smart, bro. Like it's like stuff I don't think about. And it's like it's a good question. What would you ask them? And it kills me, man. It kills me that there are young people that are going to be forced to go. And I was seeing a comment section where there was a lot of veterans And none of them agree with this. They were saying, if you're going to be called back, would you go? Because they had some Vietnam veterans. They had this panel where they had some Vietnam veterans. They had some Gulf War veterans, and then they had some, Operation Iraqi Freedom and stuff veterans. And the more modern veterans from my generation, they were like, that shit was dumb. That shit was fucking stupid. Like, yeah, we went over there, but we were lied to about what we went over there for. And they were. Weapons of mass destruction was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, in that time, like when I became a deserter, when I went thinking, oh, we're going terrorism. We've been attacked by jihadists. But as soon as you get in there, they're telling you, no, y'all going to Iraq. And they're not going to tell you, they didn't tell us why we're going to Iraq. They was like, you're going to Iraq because of Saddam and this and that and da da da. I'm not going to fucking Iraq. Y'all niggas can go to Iraq because this is not what I fucking, whatever. I'm not going to Iraq, right? But y'all got a lot of young people right now that they're going to try to force into going over there to fight these people's war. This is what they're going to do because we don't have the allies we used to have. We don't have that. And here's the thing too. So many young people are disillusioned, right? That they're easily riled up, which I understand, like I want to be liberated from these bills too. Yep. Yeah, man, Siege, you got it. Oh man, one of my biggest pet peeves is biting my tongue, no Diddy, or censoring myself. I shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to, Marcus. We shouldn't. I hate it. I hate that I can't say words. I hate that I can't talk openly about the stuff that I want to talk about. I see that a lot of y'all get it. Like everybody, we're aware what's going on, right? But we can't have the open dialogue as free people. And it's not that it's not. Here's the thing, okay? This isn't about a religion because people would sit up there and say, oh, you're anti. I'm not anti anybody as far as who you want to worship and how you worship and got shit to do with me. But when it comes to like theocracy or any type of where religious dogma dictates how you govern, I have a problem with that. It even goes for Christianity. You know what I'm saying? I am of a live and let live type situation. You get what I'm saying? Meaning, as long as you're not hurting other fucking people, it go for it, right? As long as you're not stealing from fucking people, you're not fucking raping people, y'all know the cardinal goddamn sin. What you want to do with yourself, do to yourself. That's how I feel. I do feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Up to a certain point. I don't know how libertarian I am. I lean more libertarian more than anything, but there's some things that I don't agree with that too. But I do believe that when we look at a country like them ruling over us, that's an issue, bro. And y'all done radicalized a whole lot of people. And so they're like, oh, so many young people are radicalized, we might as well send them to their fucking death. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Skizzle. I appreciate you, brother. Separation of church and state should always exist. I don't care what you believe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all always hear me talking about God this and God that, but I would never sit there and be like, my God told me to tell y'all, oh, I think that God said this, and because this was written here, we're supposed to do this. That's not fair to the people that don't believe that. I'm not gonna get y'all. I wouldn't think in getting my people into a religious war, right? Because of that. In fact, like I say, that is ego once again, and putting my beliefs over the beliefs of everybody else sucks. That's what this is. That's what they're doing right now. They're saying that this is their manifest destiny and that we have to be a part of it in order to fucking go into this, futuristic nightmare that they're trying to create, that they believe that they're going to control for some reason, which I don't believe they're going to be able to control. I believe once these machines are completely sentient, everybody's on the chopping block, not just the Goyim. Everybody. I am a grown man with a whole bunch of dogs. This ain't even half of them. But nah, yo, it's just fucking lame altogether, bro. Altogether, and I'm not trying to demonize nobody's country. I'm not trying to sit there and, but I don't believe in war. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't see what people get out of it. Nobody that has ever went to war has come back and said, "Oh, all this great things out of it. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of fucking trauma. They got a lot of fucking heartache, especially trying to beg their governments to take care of them. There's a VA place right here. I see the people. There's fucking, and I tell y'all this all the time. There's people on the goddamn bus stop right here doing heroin every fucking day, and most of them are veterans. These are people that fought for this fucking country. I can't judge them too harshly. You understand? I know the government don't give a fuck about them. I see how they get swept up every goddamn day, and rightfully so. You just can't be out here getting high, but to be put in such a low place, they're put in that place because they believed in something at one point. They literally believed in what they were going into. You know what I'm saying? They believed in what they fought for. They believed in this country, and the country turned their back on them. That shit just lame. That's why y'all always see me anytime I in war. War is very profitable. You know what I'm saying? Um, it keeps this country alive. It keeps most empires alive. But one of the things I don't want a lot of young people to do is to allow people to rile y'all up and to get yourselves in trouble, right? Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. So people will say, it's time for a revolution. It's time for a revolution, right? What is the revolution into, right? A revolution is a change, right? So if we're going to change this society, what are we changing it into? Right now, as a society, we can't even agree society wise what's right and wrong. People have already picked these positions of left to right. We can't agree on that. So if y'all people on the left want a revolution, people on the right want a revolution into what, right? And a lot of young people rile themselves up to the point of fervor to like, how are we supposed to how are we supposed to continue on with our lives with everything that we know? How are we supposed to continue on with our lives with all of the evil that's in the world? And they're riled up because they believed, I guess, that evil didn't exist in the world, that evil people didn't always rule this world, but evil has always been here. This has always been a world, not just this time, all time. Not just this time now, beyond our time. This will always be a world full of evil. You understand? Like, and I'm not saying that to be like hopeless or nihilistic or black pill or whatever. The world, just like the universe, is mostly full of fucking entropy, darkness, just nothingness. You understand? Like, what makes life special is that spark. It's the light. It's what gives that meaning. You know what I'm saying? It's what pushes that evil away. You know what I'm saying? The reason we even have a perception of what good and evil is because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like light, dark, all this other shit. But in reality, is there really a such thing as good and evil? Probably not. It's just our perception and stuff. Just because supposedly, and this is for the people that don't believe, but I believe, we were made in the image of God. So we have that perception of what is right and wrong. But we'll look at this world and we'll say, well, we have it. Why do so many people deny it? Why do so many people go beyond it? What can we do? How can I get up and go to work every day when I know evil is everywhere? That's how young people feel right now, right? But you can't let it drive you crazy. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. And we are animals. Like, and that's what I always struggle with too, because you look at certain things. I saw before I even came onto this live, I see some fucked up shit, okay? And y'all probably saw this video. There was a video from the cops cam. I guess this fucking bitch, this mom, she killed her fucking kids. And the fucking cop goes in there and has to see that shit. And the cop just breaks, right? As any human would. You go in there and the kids are fucking dead, bro. The baby's dead. That's the first one he says. So he just breaks, right? He goes into the next room and a little boy, he tries to get the little boy who ain't responsive. Apparently he's bleeding from the whatever. And when I saw that wasn't my first time seeing that video, that footage. But when I see footage like that, it's clearly an absence of God. You can't tell me no otherwise, okay? And if God is there and he's watching that, it says a lot about God, you know? Like, how can that happen? And I know this happens like all the time, right? Ugh. But yeah, anyway, so I get it. But evil has always been here, right? And there's something in us that make us want good to be there. There's something in us that wants us to think that God is good. There's something that wants us to think that there's something benevolent there that looks at all of this and says, okay, there's a reason that this crazy bitch was able to fucking torment her children and fucking kill them, you know? But I can't understand it as a person. And that's why I you know, my faith is always tested and I can't ever be a person that could like be like a preacher or a pastor or a person that speaks the word of God because I don't understand God. I don't. I don't understand this world. I don't. You feel me? Like, and I get the so I get when young people are um they're easily that anger and that, especially now with the internet, you see so much of that bullshit, right? And it's easy for them to be taken into a very dark place to where they say, fuck everything. I'm not shit. This world ain't shit. What's the point? I might as well get the fuck up out of here. And hell, in some cases, I might as well take a whole bunch of motherfuckers up out of here with me. You feel me? That's where it's scary to me. And I see that darkness in so many young people. And I personally don't know how to tell them, you know, well, there's more to the world than just that dark shit. And you know what I'm saying? And there's happiness there and all of this stuff when that's what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of what's the point with all this evil in the world? Right. It's like it you go through that shit, right? You know, like that's why I think I like that character. And I don't know if y'all seen the Marvel movie, what is it called? The New Avengers or Thunderbolts with the Sentry. I think I understand that character because it's just like what the fuck is the point, right? Like, what are we doing, right? Like, but once again, divinity is beyond me. It's not necessarily for me to understand. Just like a sim in the simulator won't understand why they're a sim. There may be a reason for them being a sim. You know what I mean? Like I don't know the reason. Maybe it's just for some fucking some cosmic deity's entertainment. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's more meaning to this. You know what I'm saying? Like hopefully there's more of an attachment to divinity than just me being some avatar for some fucking, you know, cosmic spark. But it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? I would never worship something that was written by man. See now that I am he, and there is no God without me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that I can deliver out of my hand. God gave people free will, but some people get consumed by the insecurities and imbalances and imbalance of mental, emotional, physical, feeding the flesh, desires, darkness, or light, which God gave people free will. There are like over 1 million gods. Oh, y'all, woo, y'all going at it in the fucking comments, bro. Y'all going at it in the comments. I've told y'all the way I believe in God. I believe that in order for me to reconcile any of this, I believe that we're all aspects of God, all forms of life, you know, all of it, even to the from the worms to the fucking to us. If you want to think, if you think we're the highest life form, like I think we're aspects of God. I think we're God experiencing itself. I think our love and hate of God is God's love and hate of itself. You know what I'm saying? To create something as divine as the universe how can you experience it besides through life? That's what I believe, but I don't expect anybody else to believe like that, because how the fuck would I know? Like I said, that's how I quantify things. That's how I deal with my day to day. That's how I'm able to pray, and that's how I'm able to say, okay, there's evil in this world. You know what I'm saying? And but yet there's still divinity in this world. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm able to deal with it. I don't expect anybody to see that. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard, especially for people who have never seen what you would consider to be a miracle. I can understand why you wouldn't believe in God, right? And for some people, something that may seem like a miracle isn't a miracle. It ain't a miracle, you know what I'm saying? It's a miracle to you, like in the moment, But I've seen things, you know what I'm saying, that have made me believe there's more to this life than just us being born and us being here for fucking no reason and then us dying. You know what I mean? And I didn't mean to turn this into a theology talk. Because every time I do, I get off of here and I have these deep ass fucking thoughts about this. That ain't where I was going with this, guys. That ain't where I was going. I was trying to tell y'all, there's a lot of young people telling other young people to get out here and to fight the government. Okay? And they have good intentions when they telling people to do it, because maybe their heart is in the right place. They seeing all this stuff going on, and I appreciate you, Marcus. um, they see all this stuff going on, and they say to themselves like, "Well, I got to do something, right?" But the problem comes in that a lot of people are saying to other people, "You need to get out there and do something. You need to get out there and fight. You need to get out there and all this other shit." But they're not willing to get out there and do it themselves. And I have a fucking problem with that. Because if I was to get on here, right, and I'm saying, y'all, like all the shit I talk about on here, right? And I say, you know what? Instead of watching these motherfucking videos, you need to be out there getting active. You need to be out there doing something. What the fuck are all we do is sit on here, That shit is crazy. I'm not no goddamn revolutionary. Ain't nobody, let me tell y'all something. Ain't nobody on here that's making videos gonna save the world. That ain't what they doing. I don't give a fuck how informative they are. I don't give a fuck how well they speak. I don't give a fuck how entertaining they may come off. Ain't nobody on here saving the fucking world, right? Most of the people that on here that are making videos are able to talk about whatever their specialty is to talk about, or maybe want to get on here like myself, because y'all who I talk about this shit with, and get their shit off. But as far as like motherfuckers telling people to get out there in the streets and get cases put on them, no, I would never get on here and tell y'all to fucking risk y'all lives. I would never get on here to tell y'all to fucking quit y'all jobs and pursue fucking content creation full time and the world's gonna end, so fucking you might as well just give up on it. I would never tell people that. That shit's insane to me. But there are people that are doing it. And they're doing it with such confidence that they don't realize that the FBI be watching, bro. Like, you can't get on here and just tell people that they need to fucking get up, they need to start attacking officers. You can't get on there and tell people that they need to get on here and start blowing shit up. You can't do that, because you're gonna get a fucking visit. You're gonna get a knock. And the thing about it is, all right, even if you're not convicted, right? Like, let's say, for instance, you just talking shit online. They come, they pay you a visit, right? They confiscate some shit because you crazy than a motherfucker, right? You're gonna be put on a list. So as far as you want to fly certain places, as far as you want to buy weapons, ain't nobody selling you no fucking weapons if you on the list. That's what's always funny to me. They say, oh, they don't do background checks. Yeah, the fuck they do. You're not about to walk in there. Yeah, they may not be able to predict if you crazy, if you haven't gotten in trouble before. But trust me, if you get online telling people that they need to fight literally get out there and fight the fucking government, literally without no plan. Okay, that's what drives me crazy. The spirit of revolution is great, fantastic. What are we? What motherfuckers will really do this, bro? This would be. I don't have nothing trendy right here, but let's just say I got a Starbucks cup, right? I literally just came from. All right, I got this. I got this delicious Coca Cola. Coca Cola. But pretend I just came from Starbucks. I literally just came from Starbucks. But I'm gonna tell you how fucking oppressed I am. I'm so fucking oppressed with my latte here. And I'm wearing flip flops because you gotta have the toes out because I'm in such fucking. I'm so fucking oppressed that I have to worry about running for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna tell you that the revolution needs to start. Okay, all right, buddy. All right, sorry, latte guy. The revolution needs to start. Once the revolution starts, where are you gonna be at? Why don't you start it? Why are you getting online instead of making a video? Why are you not starting that shit? Why you want everybody else to start it first? Why don't you be the example that you're talking about to start this revolution? But before you start this revolution, you got to tell me what we're revolving into or evolving into. You know what I'm saying? It does no good. Clever inciting violence does no good, and people keep doing it. We need freedom fighter organizations that are not compromised. That was Charlie Kirk evolving into and learning about Israel manipulation, speaking out. The truth be told, he was, but that's exactly why you can't have organizations. Look at what Turning Point you is. Let me stop. Look at what Turning Point's been turned into since he died. It's a fucking joke, right? Because it's an organization. All organizations can be hijacked. Once again, you have to have a direct line of thought of what y'all even want this to become. Some of the people saying that they want revolution, they don't want revolution. They want a nanny state. What they want is the government to pay them a stipend, okay? And they can sit around all day and fucking play with their dick, right? And I'm not even playing, like, and go out and meet friends and frolic and then maybe come up with some innovation. And we all want to do that shit. We all want to be able to have that day we all want to be able to do that and have Big Daddy government pay for everything. But we may have to give up a little bit of freedom because they're going to tell you what you can and cannot do in order to get that stipend. That's what some people want this to evolve into. I don't want that personally. So we're already at odds. And there's a lot of other people that don't want that because I don't want these motherfuckers telling me what I can and cannot do or what I can and cannot put into my body. I don't like that. I don't like the fucking government at all. I don't trust them. You understand? I think that they're run by fucking scumbags. I think most people that even aspire to even want to lead to that level have something fucking mentally fucked up with them, right? So why the fuck would I fucking sit here and listen to somebody want to turn it, they want to give these motherfuckers more power? Oh, they're supposed to be compassionate. We need universal health care and all that other stuff. We do. But we fundamentally have to change everything about society. That includes the stuff that we're comfortable with, including the dolls, and the games, and all of the fucking superfluous bullshit that we buy and enjoy. But ain't nobody talking about get rid of that shit, bro. Y'all want the fucking cake and eating it too, and that shit ain't gonna happen like that, bro. In order to fucking have like a real revolution, it has to be a fucking revolution itself first. Got to fucking put down the Starbucks, right? You gotta fucking stop buying all of the bullshit. I'm being honest, bro. But if we being real about what revolution really is, it's not what these people think it fucking is. Because the moment you take out the power structure, it creates a power vacuum. And for the main people that are sitting there saying, "Oh, there needs to be a revolution," I see them, bro. These are not niggas that are about to fight niggas that are fucking combat ready. They're not. They're not. I'm not ready for that shit. So I know these niggas damn sure ain't ready for that shit. Oh, we about to have a fucking revolution. We about to fucking fight the... No, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you the fuck ain't, bro. Coca-Cola. That shit makes my teeth hurt. I don't even know all about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not even that. It's not even like, yo, we're far afield, right? If I had my way, as far as like the best case scenario. The best case scenario out of what we have right now is to use the technology at our disposal to educate all of us, everybody. Everybody will require to get some level of training on something. Like, and I'm not talking about like if we're gonna use technology, right? It can't just be about making money because they talk about, oh yeah, it's me that lose money, and what are we doing? Like at some point, technology has to serve the species beyond just entertainment, right? Like it has to serve us, in a way that's gonna make us better as people. It's gonna make us better as a species. You right? Like, and not in some perverted fucking transhumanist way where where you become a fucking cyborg and you have to merge with the machine. I'm talking about in a way to where we're living healthy lives, where they're not poisoning all the food. You understand what I'm saying? To where we're getting to a point where these things matter, where the health and stability of the human race matters over profits. That's what I ideally see, right? Ideally, I see a future like Star Trek, right? Where what do y'all mean money? Like we don't use money because like like we don't do that. Like, everybody eat. Everybody got a house. Crime, like that's what I see, but that's not gonna happen. We gonna blow ourselves the fuck up way before that happens. We because that's our pattern. We get to this point and we probably create the robot. This is probably not the first time we didn't created this fucking robot thing, right? Create this motherfucking machine god. It kills us. Maybe make another fucking mud flood or whatever the fuck that reverts us back into fucking antiquity, and we start all over. That's what happens, and we just get to this point every time because the people that's controlling the shit is like, oh, profit, profit, profit. If we have profit, we can do this, or we can be immortal. We can do. It's never about serving the fucking species. It's an endless loop, which is one of those reasons I always fear killing myself. Is because I feel like if I do that shit, I'm just gonna be born right back in fucking Gary, Indiana in 1982. And I'm gonna have to do all this shit over again. I'm gonna figure this, you know what I'm saying? Like just looping this shit for into perpetuity until I figure this shit out. I was thinking about this the other day. I feel like this is just a stage. What if this is just a stage, right? Like a video game, right? What if at one point I was probably a frog? I was a worm at one point and I was a frog, and then maybe I was a bear. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like a fucking person. You know what I mean? And then like after I'm a person, if I can endure this shit, if I can endure this fucking bullshit ass gauntlet, right? Then maybe I evolve into some other bullshit, right? And then it's whatever bullshit that have to do with that. Maybe that's the cycle of this. But other than that, I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck is the point of endless profits. You get what I'm saying? Like they didn't I mean think about it. They didn't have so much money. They didn't eat fucking all of the fucking cuisine, including babies. They didn't fucking play. They probably not already played Grand Theft Auto 6. Trust me, they didn't did that. They didn't fucking had all the sex you can think about. They didn't tricked us. I mean, they bored. They like, what else is there to fucking do with all that money? How much fucking money can you have? Not like you say, oh man, I can't do nothing else. I might as well just be a part of the machine. I don't get the fucking point. I don't. Just like I see Elon Musk online all the time tweeting and upset about shit that I don't get it. Like, if I got that much money, you think I give a fuck about what people tweeting about and their opinions about? I would already know I'm out of touch because I'm gonna tell you one thing's for sure. I already do this and I'm not a billionaire. I go through fucking towels like a rich dude. Okay? I buy towels every week. You know how many fucking towels I have, bro? I just use towels just like towels, bro. Towels, like, man, just towels, bro. All day, bro. All day, just towels, bro, like a rich dude. So imagine if I had money. You know how many towels I would go through? For no reason. Oh, I'm sweating right now. A towel. Look at that shit. Oh. So why the fuck would I have time or care to hop on Twitter to argue with the peons. That's what confuses me. It makes me think having all that money, it ain't all what it's cracked up to be. Because these niggas still care about what we think about. I realized that when George W. Bush was like, the worst day of my presidency was when Kanye said that I didn't care about black people. That's the worst day of your presidency? That's what you cared about your perception more than anything else that was going on? Wow. It lets me know y'all are insecure, that y'all motherfuckers, y'all money, having all that money ain't all what it's cracked up to be, because otherwise y'all would be somewhere spending it. And y'all wouldn't be on here talking to us and fucking with us constantly. Let me see. That's my only fear, reincarnation. I would have been into this shit. No, you're not being negative, Marcus. Yeah, you're right on my page this week. That's where I've been all fucking week, bro. If I'm being honest with y'all. If I'm being completely honest, that's where I've been. And that's literally one of the major things that keeps me here. Is the fear that my ass is gonna come right. Fucking end this shit, and then all of a sudden, my black ass gonna be, like I say, born right back in 1982, and I just have to experience this shit all over again. And everything's just like this sense of fucking deja vu, just like it felt like this was a little bit different. It seemed like the Lucky Charms guy was a little bit taller before. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid shit. You know what I mean? The idea of profit is what allows monetary system to continue. I know. Speech All the World staged by William Shakespeare. Tao, man. Tao. Yep. It would just be better towels. It wouldn't be that Walmart shit I'd be getting. It would be some nicer towels. I would definitely get some nicer towels if I was a billionaire. But one of my hobbies, even if I had multi-millions, like even if I just had a couple million, one of my hobbies, what I would do is I would just go around to like different like spots where people work and just give them money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just got so much money, I couldn't spend all the shit even if I wanted to. I'm gonna come to your job sometime. Like, let's say you work at fucking Chick-fil-A, and I want to come in there and get some fries. If you're the cashier, I'm gonna pay for the fries, but then I'm gonna hit you up with 100. Not because I know you or because I deserve you, just because I got so much fucking money. Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Facts. Kevin Durant always. Yes, I saw that shit and be trolling and shit. I'm like, you really on here arguing with the fucking peons? Go spend some money. But think about it though. Really think about it. Think about it. We live in a time, fitness goals. You live in a time where you've pretty much had, most of us have had, we've been satiated. You know what I'm saying? To the point where we're like, all right, I'm good for the day, right? I don't give a fuck if it's maybe you didn't got the latest game. Maybe you didn't got sucked off. You didn't have something to eat. You didn't smoke some good weed. You just good, right? You good, right? There's nothing else you really want, right? So imagine that every fucking day, everything that you want is at your disposal. It kind of takes the spice out of that shit, right? Like, part of the fun of collecting is not being able to find some of this shit. That's part of the fun of it. Part of the fun of it is like, I really want that thing. How come I can't? It's never in the store, right? That's part of the fun of it. But if I'm rich, I just order the fucking expensive one. It just comes right to my house. I don't have to ever worry about, you know what I'm saying? It takes the fun out of it. You know what I mean? With all of the thousands. And United stands freedom, Constitution. I don't know. This is like video all the time, bro. This fucking watch. But I don't know. I just think like, and it makes me think like, is the goal money? The goal for me sometimes is just, I think for a lot of people, the goal is money for comfort. But once you have the money, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of rich people, they still, you know, I always think, oh man, if I got all this money, then I can really impress my kids. I have a really good relationship with my kids. No, probably not. Probably not. I'd probably be even bigger piece of shit to them if I was rich. You feel me? Like, you know, be like, oh, my dad made all this money. Who was that just got? Oh, DMX's son and his wife. His ex-wife got on there. They shot all, you know, they didn't really shit on his legacy. Some people said they shit on his legacy because they did an interview and they were saying how shitty he was. But DMX said he was shitty. You know, so it wasn't like no secret. And we, you know, DMX is like one of the pioneers of the being on reality TV and showing their lifestyle and stuff. So we not surprised how DMX was. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you. I appreciate that, Marcus. Um, Trying to chillax tonight. What's new from the anime noob for an anime noob like me? You know what? I want to get into some anime, but it because it looks crazy now, and I see so many younger people get online and they talk about it. I literally saw a man who was an Iraq War veteran, and he was in tears. This was yesterday, and he said, I forget what the fucking anime was he watched, and he was like, "This just changed my life." He's like, "I had so much anger in me. I had so much anger in me, and it's fucking it's an anime about some lone soldier, right?" And he's like in a war. He's like in a war, and he don't want to fight the wars, but it had dude on one, and I was like, maybe I need to watch some like some deep shit to get my spirit right because sometimes this anger, bro, and it's like I'm not mad at nobody but myself. Like, right? Like I can't like when I was younger, I used to be mad at the government. You know what I mean? Like I used to be like, oh man, like fuck the government. I still hate the government. Fuck the government. And then, once like my family didn't work out and I was mad at my kid's mom. You know what I mean? And then, after that, then I was mad at God. And then now I'm just mad at myself. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that anger is a different type of anger. You know what I mean? For a lot of shit. And I know people say, oh, you got to forgive yourself for whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But it's like every day. It's not, like I always tell y'all, it ain't like the credits just roll on this shit, bro. It's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to get all deep on y'all, but I feel you, Marcus, bro. Trust me. Trust me, I feel you, bro. And that's why I was kind of like, like low key. It's a couple days this week that I just stayed in the bed. I didn't get out the bed, and I know I tell myself not to do that. Like I came home, I turned off all the lights, I turned off all this shit, like all of it, like, and then I just lay in the bed until like 2 o'clock in the morning, until my body physically can't like sleep. Then I get up, and then I'll smoke, and then I'll think for like an hour, just being here, just like that's what I say. That's what I mean when I say like demons, you know. So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm not trying to go there, yo. And no, you not being negative. That I appreciate y'all, man. I do. I lived in Japan for 11 years. I could never get into anime. That shit is just weird. Toyama let me see. Toyama wants to be a kamen writer. It was the most underrated gems in the last 2 seasons. Don't allow anger to don't allow anger to anger you. I try not to. I try not to. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, like, hey, that's what I said. Sometimes you just gotta pray it away. It's like it's ebbs and flows. Like it don't just go away just because, what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can be doing better in life and like that dark shit just hit you, bro. Like it just do. And like I try to tell people, like, even back, I try to like, I try to tell people like, like to think of the positive and stuff. But like when I'm feeling like that sometimes, like I can't see the positive, you feel me? Like, so I get it. And I probably will show y'all the videos that I'm talking about, but we just, like I don't know. But no, I'm all right, y'all. I am all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. They say love your neighbor like you love yourself. If that's the case, then I'm angry at myself. Yeah, man. It's just crazy, bro. And I think, like I say, sometimes I feel like there's an energy over the world too, because I know I'm not the only one that's been feeling like that. I've seen, like Marcus, he's saying he's feeling like that. I know I've seen other people that's been feeling like that. My lady, she's been going through some stuff. She's been going through some personal stuff. I mean, her stuff is like a lot deeper than like just the spiritual stuff that I'm going through right now. But a lot of people going through it, man. It's just like constantly, it's always one. If it ain't one thing, it's another. That's one thing I can expect. If it ain't this, it's that. You feel me? Like, and that shit is, shit can be a lot sometimes, bro. And then especially when you start getting in your head about like the past and where you want the future to go and all that shit. That shit don't just dry up just because, like it's always something, man. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. But I'm gonna get off of here because the lady is gonna come through tonight. She's going to bring dinner. I just like to give a shout out to her. She has been like um very positive person in my life at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel bad, sometimes when you dealing with people and you going through that stuff, like I isolate myself. I don't be wanting nobody to be around me like that. I don't be wanting to get a camera to like even like for people to even see that shit on me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how deep it be. I like so like even for like the last what 2.5 days, like no 3 days, like all week, most of the week, I just been isolating myself in a room, and then um I forgot what I saw yesterday that kind of brought me out that mood, but then it was like it was something kind of it was a video somebody made that was kind of ridiculous, and it made me laugh, and I was like, okay, let me get up, let me go work out, let me hit the weights, you know what I'm saying? Let me do something, let me get my body moving, let me get out of my head, let me just not like be in my head, you know what I mean? Because that's the worst fucking place to be sometimes. You feel me? So yeah, I'm gonna try to. You know what I mean? Yeah, I try. I can only be me. I'm not like a cheater or nothing like that. So that's the easy part. But I am kind of like a basket case at times. But y'all, I appreciate y'all being here on this Friday night. I'm gonna go and get cleaned up, take a shower. I'm all sweaty from the light and from the day of working. But yeah, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you, Marcus. You said the person like this. I appreciate you, man. Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Okay.